Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video. In today's video, I'm not going to be going over a build or where to farm something. I just wanted to take a few minutes and maybe let's debate here. I know I can't really debate because it's just me talking into my microphone, but if you guys do, as you guys are listening to this video and watching the background, and you have something something that you want to say, something that you may agree with, something that you may disagree with, please leave it down in the comments, guys. This is what this whole video is about. Is what does Gearbox have to do to keep up appearance? And honestly, I think some changes that should be made to furthermore people actually playing the game more frequently than like me. I'm to the point to where I made 4 characters. Each character has a build right now. I mean, the builds are fun, and like there's not much left for me to do other than wait, which is honestly kind of sad because I remember putting so much time into Borderlands 2 and even Borderlands where I was just trying to get like the best gear possible that I knew at the time, and also obviously have like a raid boss to fight with friends or without friends. But first things first, going over how I think one honestly I think the biggest change that they should do is Mayhem 3 modifiers. And why I'm saying this is I like them, I really do, but the fact that they're random honestly kind of pisses me off. The idea that I had was maybe they should take like a Halo 3 approach to it, and I'm pretty sure all the other Halos I think do this, where you guys remember when you find like a skull or whatever throughout the map, and when you're finished with that mission, you can actually apply that skull to earn like extra points towards your character or whatever. And I think honestly that's what Borderlands Gearbox should do is you should be able to put the points on however you want in like for or the perks, I mean, not the points, the perks to whatever you guys want or need, to help you guys, farm better or whatever it takes. And then if you obviously endgame is all about getting like the best anointed, well, if you want really good chance at getting anointed, you practically run all the points or perks that um, that basically diminishes your damage, your survivability, just about everything. Or if you want to like mix and match and kind of diminish something, but also gain something, you can also do that. I honestly think too that would be a lot easier as far as like making actual build videos. Like, hey, I had minus like look at this new DPS radiation flak build. I had minus 50% radiation damage. Excuse me. And I also had minus 50% gun damage and minus 45% elemental resistance, and I'm still destroying mobs. Alright, now that would be a build that I would pay attention to. But sadly, sometimes you can't get all those modifiers at once. But if you could do that and get all those modifiers at once, honestly, I think having all 3 of those should basically make it so like almost every anointed enemy you kill or badass, they're dropping, the maybe not the anointed you want or need, but you're at least getting more anointeds than usual. I mean, there's over a bazillion guns in this game, and the chances of like a green anointed compared to a legendary anointed is really really a stretch out from there. And I just yesterday saw a nice instant grenade flak build, which was kind of interesting. But the only way you can actually do that is by getting, I think it was an anointed hex grenade, which hex grenades alone are fucking ridiculous to get. And then on top of that, get it anointed. That makes so every time at the end of an action skill, you um regenerate, I think, one grenade or whatever. So you could just rack attack, throw a grenade, rack attack. Really cool build. I enjoyed it. So that was kind of different. But could you imagine the farm on that? I mean, I have a good amount of time played into the game, and I've never seen anything like that. I'm still having trouble with all the anointed weapons and armor and just about everything. Or not armor, I mean shield. But I don't think class mods can give you anointed, or class mods can't have anointed, and I think artifacts can't be anointed unless it's just really rare to see that. Either way, I think that's something that they could do in the future, or maybe in the next couple patches. I think it'd be really easy to put like a point system modifier, and the more modifiers that actually decrease yourself, the more drop rate you have. I think that would be really good to see. Okay, and then moving on from there, I honestly think like when we're looking at anointeds and we have this nice vending machine that has anointeds that you had to spend a pretty good amount of iridium to get, and yet you don't see like any legendaries. I've never heard of anybody seeing a legendary. All there are epics, blues, and greens, which is I guess, not really that helpful in the beginning of the game because you don't even have iridium to spend. And then end game, you're just trying to farm legendaries. So what is the point of the iridium vending machine? Other than there's maybe a couple builds like with anointed perks on it, and like people throwing TDR weapons and just doing massive amount of damage. But the way Borderlands should be anyways is like your whole setup should be about maxing out your character with legendaries. Like that's the whole point of this game is the legendaries. And I know there's a couple, like there's a blue shotgun that does a crap load damage when sticking an enemy. Uh, there's a TDR shotgun right now. That's an epic that does pretty good DPS as well. But that's not what it should be about. I think when your character hits 50, you should start seeing more legendaries in Earl's vending machine. And on top of that, I honestly think the ludogram, when you do hit level 50 and you buy everything from Crazy Earl, I think you should be able to turn in those ludograms to earn like special anointed legendaries for your character. And I know that defeats the purpose of like farming bosses and stuff. Well, I mean, for the most part, everyone's just farming Grave Ward because you practically get just about everything from him, other than a few bosses here and there. So I kind of want to see maybe in the future Crazy Earls start to be more beneficial for us, along with like the golden keys. Like the golden keys, they're limited time shift codes, and we should be able to open up this rare chest that only allows us so many keys. I mean, not obviously not in the beginning because you could glitch it, and I'm sure there's ways around getting through saving your keys, like with the backup save for PlayStation and all that. But I mean, haven't tried it, so maybe that's something that we could maybe see later on in a future patch. And then obviously going more down the line, uh, bank inventory space needs to be increased. I mean, not only is my bank full just because of legendaries now I started filling up just anointed weapons that I find that I think can serve a purpose with any of my characters, which then I, obviously take them out and put them on my characters. But even then, like, as I'm playing, I'm still filling up my bank space, my bank, because I might find like the same weapon, but like this anointed gives me increased what weapon damage by 300 with face slam and stuff like that. So I think moving forward, definitely bank space needs to be increased. Um, I haven't really seen it. For the most part, this video was more about focusing on mayhem mode and maybe what they could do to maybe improve it. Um, I don't think they confirmed whether or not if they're going to be doing like a ultimate Vault Hunter mode with OP levels. I honestly think they should, just to you know um, give the players more times to grind. But the thing is, if they do that, they're they might also piss off a lot of people too, because let's Jimmy farmed hours on end trying to get his perfect anointed set for his build, and then they come out with OP levels, and that might kind of diminish Jimmy from playing again, because he put all his time and effort into these. That's why I think Mayhem should be affected, or loot should be affected with Mayhem modifiers, and you should be able to turn them on or off or whatever. Obviously, if you are doing True Vault Hunter mode and or normal mode on just Mayhem alone, I mean, yeah, you have a chance to get anointed, but it's not that high. So, all that said, let me know what you guys think, because Mayhem is definitely a touchy subject as far as, especially like builds go. Like, I think it would be way better if I could be like, hey, I have minus 50% incendiary damage, gun damage, and elemental damage, and my bottomless mag Moes can just blow through that. Like that would be an actual build video. Most people now are just, like, oh, check out my DPS using a firelight you do against a grave ward, which, okay, yeah, it was kind of cool seeing it at first, but it's the same thing over and over again. Or using the I don't think it's called the wagon wheel. It's the Jacob's pistol that you switch to get the extra critical hit damage, and also like the people lighting themselves on fire like that. I think the only one that's really um, is more for like an actual class is probably the elemental projector artifact that kind that adds on to a playstyle for a lot of the characters. But like the pistol and all that, I mean, any character can do that and basically destroy Grave Ward or any character with a Cutsman. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think as far as what you want to see in the later updates. As far as Gearbox, do you want to see Moses' grenade build finally get nerfed? Do you want to see Flak kind of get back to where he was as far as fadeaway? I know the next couple patches, I think they did announce that they want to focus more on his pet side, which is amazing, because people now are kind of building towards like a pet build, and they're actually doing some pretty good DPS overall, which is really nice to see. But yeah, that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think. Leave it down in the comments. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I hope you guys did kind of take away something from this. I usually don't do these kind of videos, but honestly, I've already posted all my updated characters. I'm trying to, still test a lot of different builds, but mostly the builds I have posted for the characters are pretty much the most viable one. Now with fadeaway being nerfed into the ground almost, I think maybe Flak can kind of lean more towards his pet overall, and have a little less damage but be a lot more tanky. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, as always, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Thank you.